Are you ready for this? Ready for the pings? Nipa! There you go.
So we're missing 3 people this week?
We're missing Shadow, we're missing Stone, and I forget
Where's
who else.
Anne?
I don't know. Did Anne say they weren't going to be here, or is Anne just...
No.
Okay, well then Anne
Andy's
might
not
show
going to
up.
be here.
Oh yeah, Andy's not going to be here.
Yeah, Andy's not gonna be here.
Nipa! Welcome, Anne.
There is our woman apologist.
You weren't here for 3 seconds,
me.
and Ari was already like, "Where's Anne? Where's Anne?"
No, you were asking, are we missing anyone?
And Ari was just freaking out like a lost child in a supermarket.
was
Where's
not!
Anne? Where's Anne? Where's Anne? That's exactly
It's
what
just
happened.
nice to be woman.
Welcome.
Well, anyway, my pre-show meme.
Yeah.
It's not a meme. It's very serious. I'm making a fumo.
Oh?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Of?
Of Rimia, my
Oh.
icon. Duh.
Can I make her drink water like the Erica video?
Sure.
In
Wait, no, that means you have to dunk her.
Yeah, we dunk her in water, encase her in ice, spin her around the floor.
No!
It's time to drink water.
She's not gonna be mass produced. No. Yeah. So then I think the night before or something, I don't think it was last night. I stumbled upon this website that lists out how to make fumos with just a bunch of different guides. And one of them was the embroidery files for embroidery machines for the faces.
Oh.
Which was a very key part that I was missing for the Fumos. Because there's plenty of patterns for making plushies that are, sittable plushies that are that kind of size, but I did not know how to do the face. Because it's a very specific. I mean, just look at Bito. I know you have her very close by.
Yeah,
I'm looking at her right now. The eyes are all embroidered, and it's a very thick satin stitch. So trying to figure that out, but there's literally just a website someone made where you could just make your own Toho Fumo style embroidery files. It's nuts. So.
Wait, is this a programmable sewing machine?
So an embroidery machine is basically it's basically like a sewing machine, but you import files onto a jump drive onto the machine, and it will follow those guidelines and sew it for you if it feels like it wants to.
Damn, the future is now.
But you have to have a certain file format. So, like, even though I have like Clip Studio and a drawing tablet and all that stuff, you have to have different programs to actually like make rendered files be registered on an embroidery machine, because it's basically a file that tells it exactly where to do the stitches, and you can also have it do the color of the stitches. I mean, you still have to like swap out the thread, but it will tell you like what colors where and stuff. So
Gone are the days of young maidens staring wistfully out of windows their tutor yells at them.
now we're making fumos on embroidery machines.
Times now.
The true feminine arts.
Exactly. A couple weeks ago, I was making I was making Yaoi and Yuri keychains with it. Where I was basically just trying to figure out how to do it, and have you ever heard of jet tag keychains?
No.
they're basically just long keychains. Pulling up an image of them. There we go. Where it usually has like some design on it, and it's kind of looks like a airport tag you would put on a suitcase or something.
I hope you go through an airport with those.
I hope whoever got the yaoi ones goes through an airport with those. That was my attempts a couple weeks ago.
It's not for personal use.
No. I do have an Ultimate one that I put on my bag, but they are. It's a finicky machine. It doesn't like me right now, so even though I do everything right, it will literally mess up on the first stitch. Because it's a pretty advanced machine, so it'll tell you exactly how many stitches are left in a project, and it will subdivide the project into different parts. And it'll just mess up on the first stitch for me. And when I say mess up, I mean it'll do the one stitch and then it'll error out and say that there's a jam. And you'll look underneath the fabric and there's just a wad of thread piled up. And it's like I was staring at you for 5 seconds. And
So
how did you do this in front of my own eyes?
So you've discovered the
Performance
joys
anxiety.
of 3D printing.
Yeah. It's like a 3D printer. There we go. But the first Fumo face has been made. I'm going to make it. I want to make at least 2 Fumos of my characters. But first I need to actually make one. Test it out.
And how long?
I will start it again. Okay. Now it's started again. YouTube, we should be back. Have no fear. Hopefully, on the VOD version, it will have looked like nothing happened. And I'm not getting the scary warning anymore. So, I think we're back. I don't know why there was a problem. Like I said, it's a static image. And then a couple icons that change from dim to bright. There's not much else going on here.
Well, why is it staticky?
I'm gonna kill you. In Higurashi when they cry. In Hinamizawa. With a gas leak.
In Hinamizawa.
I'm gonna like curse
Me
on
and Hinamizawa.
Yeah. Gas leak upon you. Alright.
Just like in real life.
Alright, let's get this started here. Welcome everybody to another exciting episode of the Anime Book Club here on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick all at the same time, and later on Spotify. We're here to continue our discussions about Higurashi When They Cry. Specifically, this week we're talking about Tatari Goroshi Hen, aka the Curse Killing Arc. So, before we get into that, let's introduce our guest that we have here as usual. Arimia How Heart, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Arimia. I like shonen shit. And I like Fumos. That's why I'm making a Fumo. And if you heard the pre-chat, you already knew that. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. I don't have anything to recommend this. Well, I've been reading a couple things. I just haven't finished anything. Right beside me, I'm currently reading a shoujo that I got for cheap. Bear with me now. Okay, bear with me with this title.
Okay.
The White Cat's Revenge as plotted from the Dragon King's lap. I'm not quite sure what the White Cat is just yet. I assume it's the main character. It's a shoujo isekai where this girl has rotten luck, just absolutely terrible. And because the girl, her childhood friend, in quotation marks, has always basically sapped all of her luck. So like she's just had a terrible childhood, terrible everything, because just being around this girl who will not leave her side has just kind of just just ruined things for her. And so they get transported into another world. And they then, of course, more things happen, and she gets kicked out of the kingdom and stuff. But she's actually like this really strong magician or something. I'm only halfway through the first volume, but I got it because I like the art. The art is really cute in it. The title's terrible, but the art is like actually like not below average, I would say. It's really cute in parts. They do the cardinal sin though. The main character has glasses, and then for some reason she just stops wearing the glasses very early on, which I did not like because she was incredibly cute with the glasses on.
Why would
And
they
I
do
think,
this?
Her eyes
yeah,
got
I
better.
think I do think that is punishable by law.
I
I
would
do
agree.
hope that they file charges. But yeah, it's pretty cute.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that. Go check that out if you're interested in that. Next up, Kenta Tech. Introduce yourself.
I'm Aztec, and I like bad media. But I'm going to suggest good media this week, because I've just been playing Stardew Valley for the past few days again.
Wow.
So, am I understanding the recommendation is Stardew Valley, or was this a segue
Yeah.
into some other?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Stardew
That's what
Valley.
I assumed it was, but I just wanted to make sure. Okay, cool. All right, go check out Stardew Valley if you're interested in that. Do they like still release any like changes to that, or is that like a game
Dude,
that's
it's on like
done?
its third final update. It's doing the Terraria thing.
Oh, okay. I see.
He's supposedly
Final
working on a
remix.
different game, but every time he gets bored of
Yeah.
working on that different game, he just goes back and makes another update for this one.
Yeah, in the most
Honestly,
recent update.
I feel it.
And like he's wealthy from the game, so he can do what he wants, I guess.
Hey, sure. Were you gonna say something, Ann?
Oh, yeah, in the most recent update, you can finally do what everyone wanted and marry Clint.
Oh yeah, I saw the stuff about that.
Drop
Babe.
Clint
That's
to
what the
the bottom
people
of the
were
mines.
clamoring for.
People are like, who the hell asked for this?
Look, Clint and Pierre can just go somewhere else.
All right. Well, go check out Stardew Valley. Hit indie, a very unknown underground
Tiny,
game.
Small,
Scrappy indie, go get 'em. Go check that out on its 5th final update, whatever. Okay, go
Really
check it
needs the
out.
publicity.
Yes,
Yeah.
true. And we're here to give it to it, so no problem there. All right, thank you so much, Aztec. Next up, Rika Chama, fan club president. Introduce yourself.
Hello, this is Shino, the resident cute girl enjoyer. For today's recommendation, the Uma Musume Global Track Blazer career came out, so if you're not playing Uma Musume, you should play Uma Musume.
Hell yeah, go do that. I pulled Ayabe the other day. I was very happy about that. Just in time, I think. Before that stops, I think. I forget how it was working with that one, but alright, go check out Uma Musume if you haven't already. Force Girls. I saw that the movie in theaters recently. It was very good.
It was so peak.
Hell yeah. Next up, Thrice Demoned Away. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Thrice. Also Mike, she, they. I just finished reading all of My Hero Academia, so that was cool. But my recommendation is Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You, which is a manga.
Oh, I have seen that going around.
Being an
I've seen that going around.
Anime next season, I think.
Yes.
Sorry,
Are
I just- I
you
think
laughing
it's
at the
so
concept
funny.
of recommending that as an action
No,
to do?
no, it's so funny to me that you're like, yeah, I finished My Hero. Anyway, my actual recommendation.
I mean,
That's
I
so
do
real.
recommend My Hero. I did enjoy it, but I also I think this one's funny,
Oh,
so I
listen,
have to recommend it.
I've heard cool things about the smoking one, but everyone who all the YouTubers who I used to see do like chapter updates of whatever the fuck's going on in My Hero. They all stopped at a certain point. Like I don't know what point they stopped, but they just all happened to stop. And I was just like, oh, I'm not watching what's going on with that, but I don't know. But anyways, go check that out if you are interested in the what was it called? The smoking one? It was called Smoking Behind the
Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You.
Yes, go check that out if you're interested in that. Thank you so much for that.
Derek,
Next,
did they stop updating because the manga ended?
So what I mean is they stopped doing videos about it long before the manga ended. Okay. And then eventually the manga. That was my.
Checking.
I didn't. They didn't just suddenly stop, and I didn't realize the manga ended. No. I understood the manga ended at a certain point. A lot of them stopped. One of them I saw was actively being like, "This shit is all falling apart week by week," and then he stopped. And then the others just quietly stopped. I think I don't know what was going on. Anyways, that was about My Hero for those who are confused. Anyways. Hello, next up is me, Wolfborg, aka Chaplain, aka the best anime book club host who somehow has still forgotten to actually give himself a Higurashi-inspired nickname here in the server. I'll figure it out by next week, don't worry. I'll figure something out, okay? I'll figure it out. I would recommend, okay, this might be cheating again, because I have been on, doing Fate stuff, okay? I just got caught up yesterday with Fate Strange Fake yesterday. It's one of the coolest fucking shows this season. It's fucking amazing. Why are you saying damn it? Are you not caught up? Or
No.
You have to get caught up. Wait, where are you at on it? It's very, very good.
Wherever we stopped last time.
Really? I just assumed that you would have kept going. Holy shit.
No, I've been busy.
Well, when you get a chance, you definitely should check it out.
Yeah.
I think the very next episode is where it gets even crazier than originally. It's fucking great. So go check out.
You ever sane?
What about Tsukihime?
You need to start it so you understand half of this shit.
That is true. I did download, like I said, the original Tsukihime VN. I just haven't sat down to read it yet. Mostly because I was going to read through Heaven's Feel first, but now I'm thinking that might be a long project to do. I don't know how long Tsukihime is in comparison, but we'll see how things go. Shorter? Okay, so maybe I take a break and read that first. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, there are several routes in Tsukihime, but every route is shorter than any Fate Stay Night one.
Sure, which is reasonable, yeah. But yeah, so my recommendation, Fate Strange Fake. Really, really cool. We still have a few episodes before it's done, I think. Honestly, though, with where things are at, I don't know how long a light novel before? I don't know how long those are at, but I don't know if one season is enough to cover whatever story we have to tell with this. Doesn't seem like we're...
Light novels has been releasing, so...
Okay, yeah, because it does not seem like we're done yet at all. So I can only assume there will be another season. So, yeah, go check...
Ryoga Narita finishing anything?
Well, maybe it's just a go read the light novel situation after, for all I fucking know.
I mean, Durarara got an ending.
What about Bakuno? Yeah,
Durarara got an ending.
All right, well, that's my recommendation, Fate Strange Fake. That's all for me. Next up, we have Women Apologist. Introduce yourself.
Oh no, that's me. Hi. I'm Marianne, or Anne, whichever you prefer. I finally finished Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. So my recommendation this week is the Fatal Frame 2 remake.
All right. Anything else?
Nah, that's it.
Do I have to play Fatal Frame 1 before I play Fatal Frame 2?
Not even a little bit.
Okay. Does Fatal Frame 2 have twins?
Yes.
Is Fatal Frame 1 good?
I love all of the Fatal Frame games. So
do they all have twins?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Fatal Frame 2 is the one I've seen played.
Probably. Fatal Frame 2 is the one that
3 has triplets, and you'll never guess what 4 has.
Triplets? What?
What is happening? Do we get a new one with every photograph or whatever?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right.
You
Well,
only take 2 pictures in all of Fatal Frame 2.
is it worth
Well.
playing the original to experience that and then going into the remake, or is it fine to just jump into the remake? Like, how different is the remake?
I haven't gotten super far in just because I had the time. I would say the original is one of probably my favorite horror games, so I would say it's still worth like checking out. But I do think you can hop into the remake, at least so far, without having played it.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds about right.
We know what chap's playing this October. Listen, it's
Do
gonna be
it,
a while
coward.
before we get there. It's gonna be a while. I would not be against it. I've been saying to myself for years I should try out Fatal Frame, and I just haven't. So maybe. All right. Well, thank you so much for that. And that's everybody that we have here for this week. So it's time to begin our talks about Higurashi when they cry, Tatari Goroshi Hen, aka the Curse Killing Arc. Before we get into it real quick, before I forget, because I think I almost forgot last week to talk about them, the artist that we have this time is Jiro Suzuki, which, did anybody recognize that name? Because they did Umineko Episode 2's manga, which I don't remember which character that focused. Was it so?
Rosa.
Okay, yes, because I think I said to Aztec before I went in the pre-show, it would be very funny if that happened to be also the episode which also focused on an abusive parents. So. Yeah. Anyways, I'm trying to think of what else they did. I'm pretty sure they like did some original series before this started. Then they were invited. I think in their author's notes for it, in one of the volumes here, they said I was doing my own thing before, and then they invited me to do Higurashi, so I dropped everything to do Higurashi. I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. I did, however, notice that they did not. The other authors all said that they did an Answers arc continuation. This one did not, but I can only assume that was probably because they ended up doing Umineko. So they probably couldn't do both at once, maybe. I don't know. But I don't know what was happening with that. I did also notice there wasn't a preview for an associated Answers arc for this, which I thought was also interesting. Don't know if that is intentional for reasons of the Answers arc, or if they just happened to not do that this time. I don't know, but
because there was no question, it was all solved.
It was just a gas leak, and that was it. A gas leak did everything at the end of the day. So then, what about all the things that happened beforehand? What happened to the body? What happened to what was there two?
Do you know what like the main side effect of carbon monoxide poisoning is?
Listen.
You don't know what the fuck you did.
Listen, how did Keiichi survive? Supposedly he would have been there for the thing directly. Okay, I'm just saying. Listen, Aztec's buying into the gas leak story real quick. Okay, real quick. Souls in chat typing in all caps bold. I'm so vindicated. It was a gas leak. Okay, free gas. What's the problem? Free gas. It's no big deal. All right.
That's what they're doing on TikTok, ain't it?
Oh, I see. I understand everything now. Where do we start with this week? Our focus this week, as opposed to the other arcs, is Satoko. This is our main focus. A lot, I think, of the first volume was a lot of slice of life, heavy slice of life setup in a way that I was kind of a little annoyed with at first. I don't know why I was annoyed with it, because it seemed fine, but I was just like, when are we going to start at this point? Because we're 3 arcs into it. But I get that it was supposed to like get me closer to Satoko, but I kind of felt like I was already closer to Satoko, but now we just learned that like she would see Keiichi as filling in the role of her big brother in a way, which I guess was the big focus of it. Then we had like a random baseball episode in the middle of all of this, and a ramble to the competing baseball guy about bribing him to go to Angel Mort with an all-you-can-eat thing so he could throw the game. And we had to do that by talking about how much of a pervert he is for desserts. And at that point, I was like, what are we doing here? What when are we going to get to the murders? Where are the murders at?
Do you believe me if I told you it is plot relevant?
No.
Oh, well, listen, it's all connected to Angel Mort, actually, I think, probably, maybe.
Listen, one thing
That's
you gotta
not wrong.
remember- One thing you got to remember about Ryukashi is he will make plot relevant perversion.
Yeah, I see. Okay. So we had our big focus on Satoko and her happy moments being friends with Keiichi and the gang. And then we find out about more of her family past. We had already known prior to this that her parents were the two people who one of the years befell to one of the curses. Would befell be the right thing to say? I don't know what to say. Were affected by the curse, quote unquote, or so it is believed. One of them died and the other went missing, or both died. I forget which happened. But either way, they were gone. Oh no, both the parents died and the brother went missing. That's what happened. But the brother is the one that we've been told supposedly transferred schools, in quotes. Which don't fucking say that to Shion. She will freak the fuck out at you if you say that to Shion.
No, that was Rena. No, it was both.
It was both.
It was
Yeah.
Yeah. I just remembered Shion was the first one where that kind of happened with, and I was like, oh my god, Jesus Christ. She's like, where'd you hear that from? Who fucking told you that? Just tell me who told you that. Who said that? Who said that? Did you see the papers? Where did they say that? And I was like, geez, can we calm down? Jeez, what the fuck? But yeah, so it was some there. But okay. But I was like, there was a few things this week where, how do I word this? It was implied at some point this week that Keiichi is actually a genius in some way, but it depends on the way he thinks about something. I don't understand what they were trying to say in that scene, but he seemed like a dumbass in some circumstances this week for me.
They have to make it fun, like a game.
Oh, I see.
Otherwise, he's just like, I don't want any of this. That's probably why he likes the game club so much, even though he sucks at that most of the time. But that's because they don't play fair.
I see. Yeah, they do cheat. It did open with them in one of the early scenes doing the whole, oh, they memorized the fucking tears on the card. Oh no, like that kind of deal. But I was just thinking, like, at some point well, I guess we'll get into that detail later. I just want to focus on that for a moment on my end, so that I don't forget it later. The fact that we've implied that he's some sort of genius in a way if he changes his mindset about things, and I want to keep that in mind for later. But
if you flip around the chessboard for him,
sure, of course, of course,
An unexpected turnabout.
Which, however, chess was not the focus of the game this time. Okay, it was actually mahjong.
Oh, no.
It was actually mahjong, as we all know. I pogged,
Of course.
but then I was like, wait a minute, this is the abusive uncle playing mahjong at first. I was like, oh no. And then it was the cop, who's presented as a very fucking creepy cop, more so this time.
He's so fucking vile.
Oh my god. I think Aztec was saying this. What were you saying about it? It was like,
the author hated this cop. Or not the author, the artist.
They pushed it real hard this time.
Yeah, he has been revealed to us that he's called Oyashiro-sama's messenger, in a way, because everybody he visits ends up being the next victim of the curse, I believe. I think is how that was worded. But what does that imply? Does that imply he's connected with them getting murdered like that, or disappeared like that, or is that a coincidence? Because I think that was another detail that they kept trying to imply. It was like, were these murders all actually connected to the curse, or is it all just a coincidence, or are people trying to take advantage of the rumors to hide their things? Which eventually Keiichi tries to do as well here. But his reasons for doing it, okay, I think I tweeted about this at some point earlier when I finished my reading. I was like, damn, Ryukishi really did truly shows that he worked as a social worker before being a writer, because he understands how fucking powerless it feels when children are in abusive situations like that. Like, they really hammer that away with this volume, specifically with the Satoko's uncle coming into the picture, because Satoko's uncle, prior to this, we just assumed Satoko's just living with Rika because their parents died, and Rika's parents also died, and so they're just living together, taking care of each other, and I guess the village head is also watching out for them too, because they need some sort of parental guardian at some point. But also the village tends to like Rika because she is also the priestess in town. So, however, Satoko actually has an uncle and did have an aunt who technically became her legal guardian, but they essentially just took all the assets that were left behind by the relatives and then just fucking left her for pretty much a year after being abusive to her for a while, it sounded like. And then they just left. And then also the brother supposedly also left and or transferred schools, which I never bought from the start that he would have ran away and left Satoko. Maybe this is just me. I don't believe for a second ever that he would leave and abandon Satoko like that. Maybe it's just me. I've just been assuming from the start that he's fucking dead from trying to kill the uncle. He probably tried to kill the uncle and then fucking lost that fight. I don't know if he lost the fight to the uncle or somebody else, but I had just been assuming that he's fucking dead. I don't know what happened to him though, but that has just been my assumption, at least. But there's a lot of connections this week between Keiichi being like Satoshi in a way, because of like the way he acts. And did they say he also looks like him, or they just acts like him sometimes? I don't remember.
Just acts like him sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. How do we feel about the connections that were built up here with Satoko and Keiichi, and like the background story we got for them? Anything to stand out with all that for people? Do we like it? Do we think it's... How do we feel about Satoko? No feelings for Satoko?
She did nothing wrong.
She didn't do anything wrong.
She's never done anything wrong ever in her life.
Especially, throwing Keiichi off the bridge. That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, the tax on the door might have been worse than that.
But we're being thrown off the bridge?
I mean, he was fine.
He lived.
Yeah.
I don't think she. I don't know if she intended for that. Or maybe she did.
Yeah, but
maybe that was the big brain play. She knew there would be like a car seat that happened to be there at that moment, and he would survive the fall because she would perfectly push him onto
on a roller coaster.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, I mean,
I like the bonding. It made sense, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
And I feel like it gave it more depth later on.
I thought it was like cute with like the main thing it started off with trying to bond them over was food, because Keiichi's parents were gone for a while and he'd have to take care of himself. And he's like, he tries to cook for himself and he doesn't even know how to get a automatic rice cooker to work properly. He's like, well, I pressed the
immediately
button.
Almost set his house on fire.
I love that.
Yeah,
toned down from the visual novel.
Toned down. What happens in the visual novel version of it?
He almost blows up his house.
Oh my god.
Gas leaks everywhere.
Hey, by the way, speaking of the gas leaks that happen later, I think we were told at some point that Satoko keeps accidentally leaving the gas on sometimes too. I was like, oh, why do we, why is this her one accidental trait that will keep happening? And then we had an actual village-wide gas leak happen, which is a bit concerning, just a little bit. Am I trying to say Satoko gassed the whole village? I'm just saying, she has a tendency to leave the gas on, I'm just saying.
Did she?
Things
Probably
are
not.
Maybe
for
the
the
Would
village
she?
is
volcanic
private
gas.
with that.
Didn't we just establish that she did nothing wrong?
Oh, well, I'm
What are you
trying
trying
to.
to say?
Well, I mean, maybe gassing the
What are you
village
trying to
wasn't
say?
wrong.
These are wrong.
I'm trying to say gassing the village wasn't wrong.
Literally neurodivergent and a minor.
Can't help being a Gemini. Listen, Satoko, okay, was just trying to make some lunches, trying to make some food, trying to not be abused, okay? What's so wrong about wanting that kind of life? And waiting for her brother to come home. She just wants her brother to come home. What's so wrong about that? And,
Ask him.
and I had mentioned it already about like the whole depiction of child abuse, but man, it really was really fucking sad seeing, like, you're not seeing any of the abuse itself happening other than the one scene where Keiichi shows up and the uncle's like, bring me my fucking booze already. What's taking you so long? For like several heavy bags that she had to go out and get herself and then come all the way back for at the grocery store, and it's just all like cigarettes and booze while he plays the mahjong. Like, other than that, we don't really actually see anything. We more so see and or assume the results of it, like a bruising and or her not coming to school for several days, or finding her in a bathtub that she's probably been in for several days. Not fucking good, okay? And like the whole PTSD scene where Keiichi goes to like ruffle her hair and then she's freaking out and vomiting and everything. Oh my god. Jesus. When seeing all those scenes and then getting to the panel where Keiichi's just like, the whole page is just text of rationalization for why he should fucking kill this guy. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I was like, I agree. We should kill him. We should kill him.
Yep.
Yeah, we should get rid of him. Like, before that moment, he was like, okay, I've heard about Shiro-sama's curse. I'm pretty sure people were involved with that. Don't think it's an actual curse. And I'm pretty sure the Sonozaki family is involved in some way. So he has a meeting with Mion. And it's just like, yeah, so, I'm just saying, I don't think you guys are related to the curse. I mean, maybe you are, maybe you're not. I don't really care. But I'm just saying, if you were, and he were to be the next target, I think that would be great for everybody. I'm just saying, if that change could be made before the festival happens soon, we should do that. I mean, they should do that. Whoever Oyashiro-sama is, they should, of course, consider doing that. I think we gotta get rid of this guy. He's gotta go. He's gotta go. And, yeah, she made it sound like in that scene, like, it was already picked to the target and they had no choice to change it. It was kind of how it felt like to me. She wasn't directly saying that, but I think I had assumed that based on the way she worded things, where she was like, even if I had the power to change it, he will still be alive next week. You're going to see him alive next week or something like that, and there's nothing I can do about that. I was just like, that's quite a way to phrase it. Not like he's probably still gonna be alive or like whatever. It's just like he will be alive. So I'm like, okay, well, that's one way to phrase it. Yeah, like they tried several things to try to get, like, call somebody and do something about the situation with the uncle. They're like, what if we tell the cops about it? And they're like, well, they tried that in the past and all they did was send somebody there, and then eventually they left saying, we'll wait and see what happens, and then nothing happened. Then they were just like, well, what if, why can't she live with you, Mion? The Sonozagas are rich. Why won't you take her in? Why can't you take her in? And she's just like, I don't have the power to choose to do that. I'm not the head of the fucking family. But that was like a whole moment where Keiichi's freaking out, trying to blame everybody else for not doing things. And then I think it was Reina stands up and is just like, Keiichi, you live in a pretty fancy fucking mansion everybody's talking about here. Your parents are fucking rich. You got extra rooms. Why aren't you taking her in? And he's like, oh shit, wait. How am I supposed to convince my parents to be okay with that? You know what? Nah, that's true. That's real. Like, they go through several different ideas. They had one idea about the doctor, who we got to talk with and interact with more this time, at least. I don't know how I feel about him. On the one hand,
I know how I feel about him.
On the one hand, he makes it sound like he would be like a viable option to adopt her. On the other hand, I don't know if I want this man to adopt her. I'm pretty sure in his like first scene, he's like, I hope I can marry her when she gets older. I'm like, I don't know if I trust this guy. I don't know. We did have also a scene later where Keiichi believes he hears the doctor is attempting to put like sleeping sedatives or drugs or whatever in his drink. I don't know if that was Keiichi just hallucinating and or assuming it about someone else or something, but I was just like, I don't know if that's happening how he's thinking it's happening. But maybe it is. It could be, because he had just like confessed to murder and events that may or may not have happened from his perspective. So I don't know. The doctor apparently is out though, even though the doctor is pretty close with Satoko and talks about like how he would be an option to adopt her, but he can't because he's not married. And apparently at this time in Japan, you cannot adopt if you are not married, which I did not realize was a thing. I was actually surprised to hear that was a thing. I don't know how adoption laws work, but I didn't realize being married was a requirement. I just assumed having stable income and being from a good household was enough. But what do I know?
Are you doubting Ryukishi? Are you doubting the social worker?
Well, I don't doubt him. I just think that if that is the law that was in place, that's really fucking weird. That was a law that was in place. Why would that matter? But I don't know,
Yeah.
Japanese traditional
It's not a
customs.
law in the U.S., but you are significantly less likely to be chosen as a parent if you are single.
That I
that's
understand. That I understand. But in this case, though, it'd be like a thing where, like, if it was not a legal thing, like, if it's just a thing, like, it makes you less likely to be able to do it, I feel like in this case here, probably, even if it's less likely, it would still work. But I assume it just didn't work out because of that whole detail. And I was just like, okay, how come Keiichi's not saying, okay, we just need to find the doctor or girlfriend? We just gotta find her girlfriend. I thought he was gonna mention that at some point during his freak out trying to find answers. But that didn't.
Yeah,
that
if
didn't
he just
happen.
gets together with Takano.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, this artist hates Oishi, but fucking loves Takano. That was my thought. There was
He
so
had some
many.
As she deserves.
panels.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Takano. My God. They showed her in the hospital scene where Keiichi went because he got sick from being out in the rain in the like maid outfit, the Angel Mort outfit, I think, after losing one of the games, and so he got sick and then went to the hospital for it, I think. And then she's just in there with him. She'd be like, yeah, so you hear about them curses? The fucked up curses that kill people, make them disappear? You heard about them, right? Anyways, the doctor will see you now. It's like, oh, okay, thanks. Thanks, lady. And
Oh, we did pass over something. Is this the first timeline we, like, where they, like, know who the 6 people that killed the dam director are?
So that was a detail I wanted to ask for clarification for. if I remember correctly in this arc, they explained it as there were 6 people involved in the murder, 5 of which turned themselves in and 1 of which did not. But in the other times, like, I thought it was 1 person turned himself in. And that was confusing me, and I don't know if I just misunderstood that. What is happening with that? Is this a thing that we can get clarification on, or are we supposed to be confused about that still? There's a silence.
I
I
didn't think they'd caught anybody in the other ones.
I think the guy who didn't turn himself in is the first missing person for the Oyashiro curse thingy for year 1.
Okay. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I was trying to, like... Because maybe I was just misremembering the past volumes, because I had thought they had said 1 person turned himself in, not that 1 person went missing. But here it was 5 of them turned themselves in. Supposedly they turned themselves in out of guilt for what they did. And then I think the one responsible for Satoko's parents and or Satoko's aunt, or one of them was supposedly done by just a crazy person in the area that they said just happened to kill them and then confess to it. Was it established that all the ones that actually had murders somehow also had somebody confess to the murders for, like, all of them?
Yes, none of the cases are unsolved in this timeline.
Which is very, very, interesting. Very interesting. I would say suspicious. I also had wondered at this point, if we had so many people confirmed as the killers for these things, and still believe, like, are still questioning whether or not the curse is a thing, why have we not talked to the people who supposedly confessed to it? Or, like, seeked out any information about those people? I don't know if we know any of them, like, the names of any of them that supposedly confessed to it? Do we?
I don't think so.
Yeah, details like that are
Weren't
things...
named, no.
To be fair, I think the characters have had some other things on their mind.
That's true.
Like a
Wow.
baseball bat.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, no, that was a combined.
He's a character.
Listen, it's just a little midnight baseball. No big deal. That's what you get for not going to the festival. You don't go to the festival, that's what happens, I hear. But it's fine, because Keiichi went to the festival.
Happened to me once.
Did you guys know? Keiichi went to the festival, despite what he might think.
Famously went to the festival.
Yeah,
He was there.
I saw
He
him
was
there.
there. He was there. We saw him there. We saw him there. We had a
Yeah,
fun
he was
time.
hanging out with the club.
We had a very
Knocked
fun
that teddy
time.
bear over.
We had a very fun time. So
Don't you remember?
So this gets me back to the point where Keiichi is shown to us to somehow be a genius, and yet he can't understand several people are trying to give him an alibi.
Okay, that's how I interpreted it too.
Yeah.
Like, that was
Like,
100%.
They're trying not to scream, "Take the hint, asshole." You know?
I'm like, Keiichi, this is an alibi. They're giving you an alibi. They're like, yeah, he was here. And then anybody who he tries to ask, like, are you sure I was there? Like, actually, now you mentioned it, I didn't actually see you myself. I just heard you were there. Like, that's a little weird. Huh.
The most 15-year-old ever.
It's like, what do you mean I was
so
there?
funny, especially at the end when they're like, Keiichi, just come with us to a different place where there's not a lot of people around,
Yeah,
and we can
yeah.
talk about this, and we can explain it to you.
Instead, they were just like, "What? What do you mean? Her uncle didn't come home last night? What are you talking about? She says she came home last night, so obviously she did come home last night. Why would you say otherwise, Keiichi? Why would you be saying otherwise? You shouldn't be saying that, buddy." Like, we're like,
I hide this. I have to hide this. I have to confess this to everybody I speak to in the next 24 hours.
He immediately goes to try to dig up the body. Is he actually still there? Is he actually still there? And then he's not there. And then I'm like thinking, okay, the body's not there. Either one or two things happen. Either one, Keiichi's a dumbass and dug up the wrong place and just also have to be dug up already. Or two, they thought he did such a bad job concealing the act that they fixed him concealing it, because they're professionals at doing this every year. Okay, so they're all professionals at doing this every year, and they saw him do it so poorly that they had to fix it. Was my assumption. Oishi now. Oishi's there when he goes back to dig up the body and basically tries to make him keep digging up the body so that they could basically like say, okay, he obviously murdered this man and he's involved in this year's murder, but nothing was there. They actually hit a pipe while they were digging too, which they weren't sure what that. I think they said it was like a water pipe that was connected to the river or something, and then. So he's like, where did the body go? But also, so related to as well, the take a hint Keiichi moment of the alibi thing was also the right after he murders the uncle. So he murders the uncle in the forest. His plan is, I will call him out. I'll convince him somehow on the phone. Call him out at night. I will not be at the festival. Everybody else will be at the festival. He'll be at home. I'll call him out. He'll drive his bike moped thing. It's like electronic scooter thing he's got there.
Looked like a moped, yeah.
He'll drive that through the forest to this certain point because I know I'll go through this path, and then I'll kill him with my bat, Satoshi's bat, I'll say, and then we'll dump some of the evidence in the swamp that is believed to be bottomless. We'll dump his bike and the bat there, and then I'll just bury the body, and then everything will be fine. And so he does this. He beats the shit out of him with the bat. Goes to get rid of the bike and his bat and buries him. And then he is picked up by Takano, who sees him and is like, "Oh, what do you got that shovel there? Why are you shoveling in the middle of all this heavy rain? Oh, you went back to the garbage place for that? That's really weird that you would do that. Why wouldn't you just go get it tomorrow? But that's fine. I'll give you a ride home.
Especially when you're coming from the wrong direction.
Yeah, that too. He's like, yeah, I'll give you a ride home. For a moment, he's also considering like, okay, she clearly knows some information now. I should probably just kill her too. Nobody else is here. I could get away with it. I've already killed one person. Why not? But they stops. He's like, oh, fine. So he gets the ride home. And on the ride home, he sees Tomitake's bike in the back. And he's like, huh, that's his bike. What's that doing here? Where's Tomitake? And she's like, what do you mean? That's my bike. That's always been my bike. Is there a problem with that? And I'm like, Keiichi's just considering like whether or not like he has to kill her because she's a witness to his crime, and I'm just like, Keiichi, can you not pick up that she has clearly also killed somebody tonight? Can we like
listen?
can we?
He's 15.
He's going through it.
She drops him off home and says, "We never saw each other tonight." And he's like, "What? What do you mean?" It's like, "We never saw each other tonight." Take the
She's
fucking
like,
hint.
Do not make me spell this out for you.
He's like, just so you know, I know that's not your bike. And she's like, you need to shut up right now.
We never saw each other tonight. It's good for you too, isn't it? I would think it is.
Hippocratic oath.
No.
Hippocratic oath. Come on.
What do you mean, Takana?
So, yeah. He's a genius, though. Don't worry. He's a genius. He just has to think about it differently.
So smart.
He just
So
has to think
smart.
about it differently.
Great at puzzles.
Oh
Apparently.
yeah, great.
But apparently that whole bit was supposed to be like he was smart, but then he like distanced himself and got bored with things.
Now he's at the fun school.
Yeah, then his parents moved here, which they did make it more of a fact this time. I mean, they mentioned before, I think, in the previous weeks that the place that Keiichi lives in is actually like a pretty big house. I didn't realize just how successful Keiichi's dad actually was as an artist, probably, to the point where like everybody in town was talking about the mansion being built here in the village, and I think they showed him at like some art gallery party thing at some point that Keiichi did not want to be a part of. So he just just took the call so he could fucking leave. He thought he was going to help them out in a fight. So he like gets like a golf club from his dad, but that's the baseball scene. So we're told that basically they do have money. They got a pretty big place, to the point where it's like, oh, you got extra space there. Why can't Satoko come live with you? Like that kind of deal. But also, the mom, what is she doing? She does something involving literature. I don't know if she's supposed to be a writer herself.
She's like an academic or something.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're saying that she's like she went to a very prestigious all-girls school, and that the people in town were talking that she must be from an influential family to go to somewhere like that.
However, they did make a note to point out that she missed out on the neighborhood association meetings after like the first
She
one.
only went once.
She went once and then not again. Not very good. In a small village like this, where a curse could happen yearly, you don't want to miss out on the meeting where they're deciding the next target. I'm just saying. You don't want to miss out on that one. So I remember specifically the details about the mom, because at some point before he does the murder, he's like, "Hey mom, you know about murder mysteries, right? What's like
hey, Mom,
the perfect crime?
A good murder.
What's the perfect crime?" She's like, "Well, Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None is pretty good. You could read that." He's like, "No. I don't want to read that shit. Just tell me how to do it." That would be the point of murder mysteries, son.
The most normal 15-year-old.
I don't need to read that shit. Just tell me how they did it. I just want to know.
Also, hey Mom, if I die, there's this clock I made.
These are the parts that I love so much about Higurashi, where it's just like it really is just like how a 15-year-old would try to go about committing murder and rationalizing, but in kind of a funny way, though,
Right.
It's just. Yeah, I don't care about the twist on Murder on the Orient Express. Just tell me, like, the tips and tricks.
Which, by the way, I know the twist for the Orient Express, and I think that's very funny that was brought up here with some of the ideas for supposedly what might be happening here.
Is he just asking his mom for an AI summary?
Yes.
Yeah, so Keiichi's a murderer, or he doubts whether or not he is a murderer now, but mostly it was towards the end he was like talking with Satoko when he finds her, and it's just like, I thought I killed your uncle, but now I don't even fucking know. People saw me at the thing, and I don't remember being at the festival, but
and she's just screaming at him, shut up, 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 shut up.
He's like, what do you mean? I don't know how you were able to see your uncle still. I thought I killed him. How could you be seeing him? And then he at some point he starts thinking like this person should die next, like with Takano. Takano, he's like, okay, she knows a little too much. I wish she would fucking die. And then she does die, or at least
immediately dies.
So she immediately dies, and then he finds out Oishi, who he also hoped would die, went missing. And then I think he wished for somebody else to die too in between. Oh yeah, the doctor, because at that point he at some point went to the doctor because he was finding out like people saw me at the thing and I thought I buried the body. I couldn't find the body, so he goes to the doctor to be like, hey, doc, what does it mean if I like, do you know if there's somebody who looks like me around town? Is it possible for, like, me to hallucinate being at a place when it didn't actually happen? Because, I think I might have killed Satoko's uncle. I thought I did. I'm pretty sure I wasn't at the festival. I was doing that, but I can't be entirely sure because I went to check and he wasn't there, and people seem to think I was at the festival.
Pretty confident I put this dude in the ground that you was.
The doctor's just like, why would you shoot something like that? That's a silly question. I know why you did that. I know why you would do that. He's like, listeners.
Thank you so much for helping Sadako. Thank you. Like I can't really condone death, but you saved her life, and as a doctor, I can condone that. So you just wait right here, and I'll go get you something to drink because I'm sure
Yep.
you're a little thirsty. And
Yeah, you want
he
some
goes
tea,
into
right?
the hallway. He's like, guys.
All right, we gotta
need
hold
to
him
sedate
down.
him right now.
How many
People are right here
Yeah.
that we can tie him down to the bed? We got
Yeah,
to do
we gotta
something
hold
right
him
now.
down. We gotta do something here. We gotta do something about this guy. Which he overhears. He's just like, man, you snitched on me. I hope you die too. And then he also dies, supposedly by suicide. From
Definitely suicide.
overdose or something. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Which, by the way, I don't know if they even mentioned it in any dialogue, but I know they did. This is one of the ones like Umineko, which had at the very end of the volume a list of the people and their supposed causes of death. And
Yep.
Tomitake also died from suicide. I'm assuming from the same reasons that we saw in previous volumes of clawing at his own fucking throat, and we just did not talk about that at all this time. I don't think we mentioned that it actually happened. There was also a lot of names who I did not recognize from the big thing, but I just assumed it was random villager, because there's a lot of names written there, but for different reasons mostly that why they were written there, which we'll get into pretty soon. So the doctor situation, that whole scene happened. I was just like, Keiichi, what are you doing, buddy? There's so much happening with Keiichi. Don't worry, he's a genius though. He's a genius. Good, but it's fine. He was able to just leave the hospital, went to Satoko's house with the cleaver, ready to fucking kill the uncle again if he finds him there. I'm assuming he's like, listen, if I didn't kill him, I'll kill him now. Okay. I just
want-
dedication to your
somehow.
craft.
Finish the fight.
I love that. He's just like, you know what? I've confessed to it already. Might as well just do it again.
You know, can't stop now. Fuck it. Gotta get rid of him anyways. Fuck that guy. At some point he had also wondered, and I did wonder this too. He was like, maybe the person I killed wasn't actually his uncle. I'm pretty sure it was though. It looks like the guy who was yelling at her the other day, but what if that wasn't actually the uncle that was yelling at her, and it just happened to be another guy yelling at her? I don't know. But the doctor said, no, that was the guy. Yeah, he clarified. No, that was him.
the uncle.
That was him. That was him.
But was that actually the person he?
A lot to say. By the way,
because he did wait to confirm, but then he also it was dark and it was very fast, and he didn't turn the body over or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a lot of.
To also be clear, a detail that I did not want to forget to bring up is he calls the uncle to convince him to go outside, because he's like, this is the police. Your daughter is here in custody. You have to get here right away. And the uncle's first response is, what? Do I have to?
I just got out of the bath.
Do I have to? I just got... I don't know. Fine.
I can't believe the abusive shithead uncle was like, do I have to put effort into this? Really?
The hell does she do now? I gotta drive out there now? This is bullshit. But, I think a part of me So, another important detail, which I might have forgotten to mention earlier, is one of the main factors for why them trying to call child services on him has not worked is because apparently before the uncle, Satoko had allegedly, because I don't know if this was actually true what happened in the past events, allegedly she had pretended to be abused to frame a past husband. This was not her biological father. This was another man that entered Satoko's mom's life, and she did not like him for whatever reason. Yeah, stepfather. I think they had said it was mostly just to try to stop having all these men be around Satoko. Was Rika's supposed understanding for the reasoning why Satoko might have done it, I think. If that was even what happened. But supposedly because it was believed that she was trying to pretend like she was being abused in the past to frame that person, that meant that they kind of take the future cases less seriously in that, or they approach it very cautiously. And if, they get a call saying she's being abused and they go there and Satoko is saying, no, everything's fine, because supposedly she's saying that, whether it's for her own safety out of fear for what the uncle's doing, or because she just doesn't want to cause trouble, or she doesn't want to, like... I had assumed a lot of what she's putting up with is because she's just desperately waiting at the same location, hoping that Satoshi will return one day. That was a thought that went through my head. I was like, why the fuck would you want to suffer through all this stuff still? Without, like, speaking up about it. But I just assumed it was probably... maybe that was some sort of factor into it as well. But they can't do much when they report to Child Services. Child Services goes there, Satoko saying everything's fine, and then also they have that history of her pretending to frame them for abusing her in the past, so they probably aren't going to do anything with all of those kind of factors involved, which is very unfortunate. But, and again, that was the point where Keiichi's just like, it truly does feel like there's nothing we can do, so I gotta fucking kill him myself. And I don't think anybody's gonna mind if I kill him myself. And in fact, many people don't mind that he killed him. They're all there to hide the fact that he killed them. Keiichi's the one who's like, did I really kill him? Oh shit, I have to confess this to everybody now. Because I had wondered for him. I was like, yep.
One thing that Rika does bring up, though, is that she thinks that part of the reason Satoko would say that she is not being abused is that she kind of views it as either like a trial or like karma. It is her own karmic punishment.
Mm-hmm.
That it is her fault that Satoshi left her. It's her fault that her actual parents died. Things like that.
Right. Yeah. Man.
Even though it is very obviously not, but she is like 9, 10 something. She is tiny.
So
I always forget their ages, but she's younger than 15.
Right. Yeah. She's very, very, very small, very tiny, and despite being ready to lock in to cook for Keiichi, that's mostly because she had to basically take care of herself for like a year. So, I mean, Rika's there as well, of course, but like they were pretty much like, I assume the head of the village obviously cares for them and checks in on them, but I don't know that the head of the village is actively living with them. He's like supposedly the guardian of Rika in name, but is not really taking care of her for whatever reason. Like, he's not like living with her or anything. Which we'll probably learn more about why that's the case. I'm assuming in the next one, because it seems like we're going through each of the different girls in our cast, so I'm assuming the next one's going to be focused on Rika. But I guess we'll see. She is on the cover of it, so she is on the cover of the next one. So I want to assume that. But then I guess she was also on the cover for the second half of these volumes too. So I don't know. We'll see.
The next one's Rika's.
Okay.
It's my favorite.
Okay.
One of my favorites.
Really?
I read it a ton as a child.
This arc was the longest so far. And it was very noticeable because you go from 195 pages for the first volume to 300 pages for the second volume, which I didn't mind, though. I think I didn't mind it, especially for the second half, because by then we'd like locked into the plot a lot, and it was very, very well written. I think this was very, very good with how it was handled, with a lot of the details of it. The first volumes were like too heavily slice of life memes for me, I think. And I don't know if that's I don't mind the slice of life moments. I think it was just I did not like how this artist was trying to depict those slice of life moments. Like, I think every time I try to at first read these volumes, and it tried to have the little gag about him being trapped in a tree from them somehow, and it was like them trying to show him around and have a fun time. It took me a while to like read through that and like process what was happening, because my eyes kept glazing over reading that stuff. But then I think we got into like the whole Satoko cooking for Keiichi, and then them trying to have like a lunch contest thing, but everybody's trying to say that they didn't actually make their lunches and giving up the game or whatever. Like, it was a whole, thing. Some parts of it were cute. I think it's just some of the slice of life stuff was a little drawn out in this one. But once we actually got to the plot of this, it was very, very, very good. Very good. So I did not mind it being very long in that sense. Still not as long as Umineko, though, because Umineko, I think every single volume that we read was like 400 pages on the easy ones. And then they got longer from there. But then again, we were also reading omnibuses, but we were reading like one omnibus a week, I think. So.
Umineko
Yeah.
also just is longer overall.
Yeah.
As like work.
Yeah, because we're not doing a lot of like logic truth arguments here. I did almost get through reading the entirety of the whole Keiichi mental breakdown of justifications for needing to kill the uncle, which was very, very nicely portrayed with how they did it. I think the only thing that made it annoying trying to read through that, though, which is why I didn't read the whole thing, was obviously the original text is in Japanese, and it's, the Japanese text you read vertically. They tried to do that with the English characters, too. And that's annoying to do, reading English characters vertically for an entire page at that size. It was very hard for me to do, so at some point I just stopped because I was like, okay, I get it. I get that. But it was not like a copy and pasted like Word. It was like a full-on running train of thought for reasons and justifications and concerns for killing him. It was like, I should kill him for this reason, but I shouldn't for this. But if I do this, people won't mind this and this and this. And I forget exactly how it was written, but it was like very, very long, and it was very, very cool. That
Also,
one,
am I just getting old, or were like the text boxes in this volume really small?
Yeah. Some of the formatting was not good.
Yeah. And I was trying to wonder why they were like that, and I just didn't know if maybe this is just, I didn't remember this being the style that this author did it for Umineko, but maybe it was. Maybe it worked better there because there they had a lot that they had to do for logic stuff, logic arguments or whatever. Maybe. I don't know. Because the episode 2 of Umineko that he did would have been when they started the whole Red Truth argument stuff as well. So that would be a factor in that probably. But this was long before that, but it probably worked out better there maybe. And then we also had, again, long-winded bit for baseball guy who is perverted when it comes to sweets. Very descriptive. They described strawberry shortcakes as a traditional maid in vivid detail to try to convince this guy to throw the game. And, bits like that are like, I'm going to remember this just because of how ridiculous and long it is, but I don't know why it was needed. But
very plot relevant.
Listen, it could be. Maybe Angel Mort was where all the gas leaks came from. If you ate a shortcake there, you died later.
I mean,
and that's so
if you think about it.
It's possible. It's very possible.
I mean, it does have Mort in the name. It just means death, right?
True.
Close enough, yeah. Shion was barely here this time. She showed up at some point to be like, don't ever fucking say he transfers schools ever again, motherfucker. I'll end you. And in that scene,
do not talk shit about my ex.
In that scene, it was we didn't have to go through a whole reveal of like, oh my god, you have a twin. It was like, oh yeah, I heard she had a twin. It's just like, okay, yeah, we can skip all that. We already learned about that apparently. It was like
that happened last loop.
Yeah, of course. what else? He met Tomitake, and I think they also still had the scene where he took a photo of him without asking. And then I think he helped him get to wherever he was going, and then I think he just disappeared and then died off screen. I don't think we ever brought him up again after that. He just died off screen, supposedly. Probably the same reason that we saw before, though, in the previous arcs. So Shion wasn't really here, Tomitake wasn't really here, and was there anybody else who wasn't really here? I'm pretty sure it was pretty much just them. I mean, we didn't really see the village head at all, but I don't even really think we actually met the village head in the past arcs either. I think we've seen him when they were talking about him last week, but I don't think we've actually met him. Whoever the
There
village
was
chief
one
is.
other bit with Shion.
What was the other bit with Shion?
Shion was the one who received Keiichi's call.
Oh, okay. So that one, I thought I had remembered.
He doesn't know that he's talking to
Yes.
Shion. He thinks he's talking to Mion.
Yes.
But we see Shion with her normal hairstyle.
Right. That's what it was. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
I remember now. Yeah. That the call scene where he's trying to ask Mion to take Satoko to the festival, but this is actually Shion who answers the phone, and
she kind of breaks down
because she doesn't realize like what he's saying and the implications of it. Like she's now understanding what is happening, and she's breaking down, thinking about Satoshi as well. I think
she might have literally thought it was Satoshi's ghost at first.
Oh.
Because she had apparently received an identical phone call the year before.
I see. Yeah. She was like, he basically did the same thing, and that's where Cage like, wait a minute, maybe that's what happened. Maybe he had killed the aunt and then ran away. Maybe that's what happened. Which was it the aunt supposedly?
Which could mean nothing.
It could mean nothing.
Yeah, it was the aunt.
I was just thinking. I think at that time was where I was thinking, oh, so he probably killed the aunt, and then maybe the uncle probably killed him, probably, and or somebody else probably killed him. Either way, I don't think Satoshi's alive. I don't know if Satoshi's alive. I'm pretty sure he would not have left.
He transferred schools.
He
How
would
media
not-
illiterate do you have to be?
He would not have left Satoko there. He would not. I don't think so. I don't even really know the guy.
Scholarship.
He would leave Satoko if Oyashiro-sama told him to, because he's a good resident of Hinamizawa.
Oh, as
Have you ever
as we all
thought
should be.
Oyashiro-sama told him the vibes are off? You gotta go.
Is Oyashiro-sama in the room with us right now? Is there an extra footstep
Yes.
behind me?
I don't know.
Extra
Is
footsteps.
there? Are you listening?
At some point, Keiichi starts hearing an extra footstep behind him. He's like, who the fuck is that? Who's there? And that's where he starts like believing that his ability to hope somebody dies and then they do die happens. Which mostly also happens to a reporter that talks to him in the future, but we'll get to that. Yeah, so he finds Satoko in the bathtub, supposedly been in there for days. That one, so at this point he wasn't sure whether or not the uncle was alive or not, but I'm pretty sure we were supposed to pick up the fact that he's been dead and everybody's been trying to cover up for Keiichi, including Satoko, and that of course makes me think Satoko has been doing that to herself for whatever reason. I don't know if that's to strengthen the story about the abuse about the uncle, or for self-harm reasons or something, or for karma belief reasons or something. I don't know what it is, but she was in the bathtub. Keiichi gets her out of the bathtub and is trying to take her to the hospital. That's where he overhears about the doctor killing himself, and then they go to try see Rika instead to get Satoko some clothes, because he just kind of dragged her out of the home without putting any clothes on her and just gave her like the towel. It's just like, let me get you to the hospital ASAP. And at the shrine is where Rika is very, very fucking dead. and crows are eating her body. Nice. Very, very fucked up. Very evil. Don't piss off Oyashiro-sama. Don't, just mental note, don't do that. I don't ever want that to happen to me. That looked horrifying. That looked pretty bad. And they say it, and Satoko immediately assumes that Keiichi probably also did that. And he's just like, I'm pretty sure I didn't do it, but I don't know for sure.
I do have this big-ass knife on me.
Yeah, she's just like, do you have a good reason for why you have the knife? And I guess he can't just say, because I wanted to kill your uncle in case he was still alive.
No, this was for murder, just not this one.
Listen, I may have killed several people, or at least I think I did, but I'm pretty sure I didn't kill Rika. I don't remember it, at least. And she's like, yeah, but you told me you don't remember killing so many people and so many things. I don't know if I can believe you. I don't even know if you can believe you. And they're on a bridge as they're doing this, and eventually, like, he throws the knife away, and then she, like, pushes him off the bridge to kill him, because she believes that he is no longer Keiichi, and that he is, like, possessed by Oyashiro-sama, and so she kills him, or tries to kill him. He got better. He lived. He survived the fall. Despite the very rocky area underneath, he is believed to have happened to have landed upon like a random car seat cushion thing that was like nearby, which also looks like it had a rip through it. So I'd wonder if that was just like a part of the cotton drifting, tear up and then put down the river kind of thing. I'd assume that that's what that was. It was probably just washed up from it or something, but I don't know how that works. That was there. Supposedly that saved him in his fall. He wasn't sure because he just woke up like the next day with that. And he goes to be like, I guess I'll go to the doctor after that. And everybody's fucking dead. Gas leak, baby. Military's there being like, oh my god, we have a fucking survivor. How did you do that? All right, we'll get you to the actual hospital. Put on this gas mask. And he's like, what happened to everybody? I won't explain it to you. I'll just turn on the radio for you, and you can hear it through
Don't worry
that.
about it.
I don't know how to tell you what happened, buddy. Here's the radio to do it for you. Yeah, everybody, there's a fucking volcano activity that happened, caused gas leak, killed fucking everybody, pretty much. There was like 1,200 something people that were living in Hinamizawa that died, and we escorted out a whole bunch of other people that in the nearby areas so that they could be away from that shit. And everybody's dead. But you survived, and we get a whole breakdown. He at some point he thinks to himself, I hope that I die too. And then it looks like he almost dies. Supposedly he survives, though. Well, it is believed that he potentially survived, but there are questions as to whether or not that was actually even Keiichi at some point later on, or whether or not he died that day. I was a little confused on the details of the timelines of that, but the next thing we see
get
is
a bit
just
of the bottles.
yes.
Thrown
I was
at
definitely thinking that.
sea.
Yep.
Yeah, at the very end.
Where we get the whole recap of this is the evidence that we've uncovered in the wake of all the shit that happened. The evidence is volcanic gas happened and affected the whole place. And supposedly there was only one survivor who had a whole bunch of issues immediately after, but he supposedly survived that and lived for a while. And supposedly someone else's parents in like 2003 found a recorded tape of an interview he did with Keiichi, because he was like a reporter person of some kind, and he had an interview with Keiichi like a couple, like the day before the interviewer died, and then a few days before Keiichi died, I think. I forget if it was a few days before Keiichi died or something, but I think there was a question whether or not that was Keiichi because of supposedly when they believe Keiichi to have actually died, which I forget the details of when that was.
But they said it was like this interview was dated as like November, but he supposedly died in like August or something.
Oh,
he was institutionalized in August.
Yes, he was institutionalized, and they would not be open to letting somebody do interviews like that, supposedly, was like a reasoning for that. we have a victims list, similar to how they broke it down in Umineko every time. This, though, I wanted to clarify a couple of names that I don't fucking know if I remember. So, okay.
Some of them have not been said yet.
Okay,
so
that's... Okay,
there
that's
are some names
probably
you
the
just
case.
won't know.
Okay, cool. We have Tomitake, real name unknown. That was a detail I noticed. Tomitake, real name unknown. Okay,
That was a
all right.
detail that was earlier.
Was that like this is his like pen name for like photography or some shit, or I don't know, but real name unknown. Supposedly suicide within the village ? A lot of these have question marks, but it's like from what they understand from the evidence, this might be what happened.
It's a little hard to investigate now.
Yes, that's the big factor in that. We have Takano, who was hanged in the mountains, and then the corpse was burned. Investigation pending on that. Oishi went missing. This is the first name that I don't know if I remember. Katsuya Kumagai. Who's
I assume that was just another cop with Oishi based on the timing.
Oh, because it is also
they
June
do
20th.
mention Uishi does call someone Kuma-chan.
Oh, okay, yeah. I completely missed that detail. Or if I recognized it, I forgot about it. Okay.
I think the name gets mentioned literally once. He has a little bit more of a presence in the visual novels, but not that much more.
Okay. He's the key to everything, as we all know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoilers.
Irie, the doctor. Suicide inside his clinic, ? Rika, murdered at the shrine, ? Reina Ryugu, which I believe is just Rena, died in the Hinamizawa disaster. Mion and her grandmother, Oreo, I believe that's her grandmother, also died in the disaster. Yep. Satoko, the uncle Tepe, missing in the disaster. So Satoko is just marked as missing. We didn't actually find a body for Satoko. That's a detail I didn't forget to notice. Ichiro Maebara, I believe that is his dad, because one of them is Aiko and the other one's Ichiro, so I didn't know which one was the Aiko. I assume is the mom. Supposedly they died. Daiki Tomita. Who?
Want to say that's one of the younger
yes.
classmates?
Yes, you're right. And then the other name is probably also another classmate, Suguru Okamura. I'm assuming that's the other classmate. One of them liked Satoko, the other one liked Rika. Okay, and then Rumiko Chie, this is the teacher. Kimiyoshi. Okay. The teacher died in an accident while evacuating from the disaster. A notably different death than the other ones. Just died in an accident while evacuating. What was the accident? I don't know. Yukikazu Kameda also died in an accident while evacuating. I'm assuming whoever they are, they were probably with the teacher, maybe. Katsuyoshi Kasai died in the hospital where he was admitted. I think that was... Do I know this? I don't know what this is. But this person was like August 11th. This is like almost a month after everybody was dying for the disaster. Oh yeah, 2 months, yes. Because the disaster happened in June 22nd, and then this jumps to August 11th. So he died at the hospital where he was admitted. I don't know, Kasai. Maybe he was like another survivor who we saw towards the very end.
Shion's bodyguard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Kameda is the pitcher as well.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, because the next one right after that is Shion on August 27th, killed herself at the hospital where she was admitted. So, yeah. And then after that report is where it gets into the whole reporter supposedly talking to Keiichi about the events that happened. And it was Keiichi trying to be like, I believed I killed them, but I don't know. I was trying to remember the details because the reporter was trying to be like, I don't believe that this happened, or some details of it happened. I don't remember the details of it. Hold on, I'm trying to like find it here. Oh, he was the one who brought up the whole people believed that you couldn't have been on the riverbed during the gas leak incident because supposedly that's where it all came from, or you would have been laying in it for like a day and should have died from
Yeah, like,
it.
that's where it rolled through,
Right.
mostly.
So, there's the belief of like, you might not have been where you said you were that whole time. What's up with that? And he's just like, what? Also, the reporter kept laughing, or Keiichi kept laughing, because the reporter was just laughing at random times during all of this, and then Keiichi's just like, why the fuck do you keep laughing? I hope you die. and don't worry, if I hope you die, it will happen. And then he did die. He's like, listen, Takano was burned alive. I think you should drown. And I mean, his boat capsized. So what's the deal with that? It's a little weird. And then Keiichi died like 2 days after, of like a fever. So, yeah, happily ever after, I think. Everybody survived. Listen. Oh, yeah, he also believes that he's the one who killed everyone in Hinamizawa, because he had thought as he was falling off the bridge, I hope all of Hinamizawa fucking dies, and then the gas leak happened. So he truly does believe that he killed all of these people through
like,
his
"Man,
with his
he was
mind.
fuck
chosen
this
by
place."
Oyashiro-sama.
He just, that just
How
happens.
else do you explain how he survived the gas leak?
Well, I mean, how would I possibly be able to explain that? All right. Gas leak situations. What are we thinking about the gas leak situation? Do we? Yeah. What do you have?
Typically, people die from gas leaks because the gas is heavier than surrounding air and goes down. But if it came out of the swamp, like, that should already be below most of the people already.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works with like volcanic shit like that.
Are you trying to say there's a cover-up in Hinamizawa?
I would absolutely believe that there was a cover-up in Hinamizawa. But then again, it was all of Hinamizawa that died. So, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Because I was trying to think, like, if a gas leak did happen, I don't think it would have happened by coincidence here with things happening. First of all, it did not go unnoticed that we hit a water pipe thing, and then eventually a gas leak thing happened. Did not go unnoticed how we were bringing up and focusing on the swamp, like throwing evidence into it. And I'm just thinking, like, I don't know anything about how the gas leak is caused, but I'm thinking, did Keiichi accidentally cause this by throwing a metal bat in there and it causes a weird chemical fucking reaction of some sort that incites it or whatever? I don't know how this shit works with that. I'm not a chemist when it comes to that shit.
The battery from the scooter hydraulicized the
Yeah.
water.
yeah. Like, I don't know how that shit works, but I don't. And I think when we had brought up a gas leak before, I think we had brought it up. I forget who specifically brought it up, but I think the implication was it was brought up for why people were going crazy and killing each other, not a this is what's actually killing people thing. But
I have a few
did the gas
points
leak
I have
happen?
questions on.
Yes. What questions do you have?
Well, this is the second one in a row where for some reason Shion ended up in the hospital and killed herself.
Yes.
Like, why'd she survive the gas leak in the first place? or quote unquote gas leak.
I had assumed is because she just wasn't in Himizawa that day, because she normally isn't, right? She's normally in the next town over.
Yeah, she's normally in Okamiya.
She
So-
normally is, but she answered the phone the night before, so she was at Mion's house.
Oh.
That's true.
She was there for the festival, so maybe it was a situation where because the festival was like the next day, she was staying there that night, going into the next day. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, possibly.
My other question was like, so when he called the uncle was coming out of the bath, but Satoko had apparently been in the bath for quite a while, so
No, that was after, because she went to school the next day, and Keiichi's like, yeah, we all had a fun time at the
oh,
festival,
okay, there's
right?
a day between that. Okay.
Yeah. She went into the bath after he supposedly killed the uncle, which makes me be like, okay, did Satoko harm herself doing that, or was the uncle actually still alive and did that? Or my assumption in my head is she just did that either to as self-harm and or to strengthen the story about the uncle being abusive now that he's out of the picture, so that they could just be like, he abused me and then left or some shit. I don't know. So that was that one. Any other questions we got?
I haven't been paying attention to the timeline, but is there like a consistent day at which Keiichi and gang start losing their shit?
Well, for Keiichi, it's
It
whenever
typically
he
lines up
learns
with the
about the
festival.
fucking murders. Did you hear
But,
about them
like,
murders?
He was going about it normally at first, and then at some point he just became super paranoid. I'm wondering if that's like on a consistent day each time, or
Well, here he goes crazy once he starts. He had the mental breakdown and said, I should just fucking kill the uncle, which I believe was.
no, it was before that.
Was it before that? When would you say
Oh,
it
yeah.
was for this one?
Probably shortly after he first learned Satoko was being abused, but before he was like, I'm gonna take care of this myself.
Okay. So I'm trying to think, because like when he has the breakdown, thinks I should kill the uncle. That was like a day or two before the actual festival happens. So he's like, okay, I should lock in and do that and line it up with that, so he can just hide it under that. If you're saying have it before that, it'd be a little before that. I'm trying to think of the past weeks or the past arcs when it usually happened. With the first arc that involved Reina, it was pretty much after he talked with the detective in the car, I think, was when he started getting really fucking paranoid about everything. I think up until then he was mostly fine, I think. The twins, it was pretty much after they went to the Saiguden, whatever, the sacred temple place.
I want to say he was acting paranoid with the cop this time, but also the cop was not doing himself any favors. That was an entirely reasonable reaction.
The cop showed up and says, "Hey, where's Satoko?" He's like, I don't think I want to tell that to you." And he immediately turns to some
Where's
other
this
kids.
child?
Yeah,
Where's the child?
He turns to some other kids. "Hey, what's this kid's fucking name?" His name's this, and then they run away or whatever. I don't even know if they actually said his name. He's like, "Oh, you're that guy. Oh, you're the guy who moved into that fucking rich guy house with the rich parents, aren't you? Oh, the one who hasn't been going to the neighbor meetings. All right, well, I guess I'll talk to you later. Maybe, if you survive." Yeah, the cop was didn't offer air condition discussions this time around. We'll put it like that. I think there was also a focus on how, like, the doctor showed up to try to stop the detective from talking with him at that time, and he was just like, man, he got really rough with me. He's like, my arm hurts, but he didn't leave any marks. He, like, knows how to do that. That's a little concerning. It's very fucking scary. This man's violent. And then that carried over into the whole abusive parent who knows how to hurt their kid, but not actually show any marks. And yet, Satoko frequently shows up with marks. So it's it's not like they're very smart or whatever. Traditionally, most abusive parents are not very smart though. But there's that.
Let's see what else was there. One of the bodies they found is like, oh, this is a solved murder. Had like nails driven through the knuckles and stuff.
Yeah, and that one was that even
And that
in
was
Hinamizawa? That was somewhere else, I think, too. But we brought it up as it looks
That
like
was-
they're getting closer to it.
Yeah, that was the neighboring town, the one that the detective actually
Hinamiya.
works in.
So they,
Because
That victim was.
And
that
it's
was
like,
a
oh,
thing
Hinamiya,
Mion
I
said
believe.
she was going to do to Keiji in one of
At-
the
in the previous one last week.
yeah. But I don't know if that's like
Oh.
a specific thing for this or if that's like a Japanese trope of some sort.
oh yeah, because it could be that too.
That's just what this
Like
one
that
was
might just be
happening
a
to.
Yakuza thing.
Probably.
That's just what Yakuza do sometimes. It just happens to be it. Okay, yeah, I completely forgot the detail of that is exactly what they described that they wanted to do before, but it could also just be that detail. Interesting, though. Very interesting.
I mean, especially out of all of the torture devices they had hidden in that shrine storehouse last week,
yeah.
that's the one that gets repeated.
Yeah, yeah. Gas leak? Gas leak, though, I don't feel like happened specifically because of the whole Keiichi claim. So, one of two things happened. A gas leak happened, and Keiichi lied about where he woke up and how he survived. Or, gas leak didn't happen, and Keiichi's telling the truth about where he woke up, and everybody else was just told that a gas leak happened, including Keiichi. One of the two, I'm assuming. I lean more towards the gas leak didn't happen and some other shit did. Don't know what, though. Satoko. I hope Satoko's having a very wonderful life somewhere, because as we know, Satoko did nothing wrong. Even if she was somehow connected with killing literally everybody in Hinamizawa, which I don't know if that's the case or not, but if she did nothing wrong. They deserve it, I think. Maybe.
The Rika death seems kind of just out of left field.
Okay, the Rika death, that one, someone had a personal hatred against her. That one was... Someone really hated her.
I mean, the death matches like what they said they did to people in the past, where they like ripped out their guts.
Right.
It's the
like
cotton
that.
drifting.
It is the cotton drifting, yeah. I'm just not sure about anything else.
They just didn't finish it and actually put it in the river. They're just like, the birds can have it.
They were like, oh shit, I smell something funny in the air. What's that? I don't even know if they'd be able to smell this gas leak. Is this like, would this kind of gas leak be odorless and kill them? Or I don't know how this works.
I mean,
Keiichi
I would
said
think if
something
it's
stinks on the
sulfuric.
way up, so.
Oh,
But that might have been all the rotting bodies.
You know what? Yeah, that's fair too. Listen, there was like a lot of bodies lined up, and he's just like, huh, I wonder what happened there. And then eventually he's like, everybody's fucking dead? I'm like, Keiichi, you saw a lot of dead bodies. I don't know
No,
if
he
you
saw a
realize
lot
what
of
dead
body
bodies-
bags, which he might not have recognized at first glance.
Oh, I see. He's a genius, though, by the way. He's a genius.
Just being a genius doesn't mean you know everything. It means you learn things.
I know it doesn't really matter, but I kind of wonder why they were bothering putting some in body bags and then others they were just piling into the back of truck.
They
Just
did
loose.
comment as they were doing it that like some of the people are natives and they needed to be more careful, I think.
Yeah, I think
But
it
I
was
think
something
that's
like that.
because they were walking Keiichi by it. So they're like, hey, be careful with those because this guy's from here and we don't want him to see how rough we're treating these bodies.
This is the one survivor. We can't have him seeing this.
He might know these people.
Put a tarp over the wood chipper, quick.
We're just gonna burn all these guys next door. Yeah, so the body count here is significantly higher than the last iterations. even more significant than
Literally
Umineko.
everyone.
Literally
I
everyone.
mean, is it?
Well, I mean, we're led to believe, at least, that the body count is very, very high, unless nobody died and the whole village is just perfectly fine.
Oh
and
no,
we've just told
sorry.
the world
That's
that
not
they've
what
all
I meant.
died.
I meant the other way around.
I don't
You
know
think
what
this
you mean by
gas leak didn't happen in the other
Oh,
timelines?
listen. I don't think... So, I mean, I would say I don't think a gas leak happened in the other timelines because I don't think a gas leak happened in general. But that's just me.
I mean, Keiichi's point of view does typically end before that point in most of the timelines.
Yeah, that is
This
the
is the
only
furthest he
detail.
survived.
Yeah, that is the only detail that makes me a little like unsure about that. But I don't know.
I mean, listen, some isolated places have explosions, some isolated places have gas leaks, you know?
It just happens
Some have
sometimes.
both at once.
Yeah,
At once.
it just happens sometimes. It happens.
But that is, I mean, and we, the certain ending thing happens in all the games. We've got a gas leak suddenly appearing towards the beginning of the fourth one, which is also around the same time we learned of the the explosions. I mean,
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting.
What did Keiichi mean by this?
All right. What other details do we have to go through? Is there any details I've left out that we need to talk about? I don't really know what we really need to dive into for the reporter. I feel like there was the biggest thing to pick up from that from my end was the whole detail about the riverbed that Keiichi was at. Supposedly, it should have killed him if that did happen. There was just a lot of questions in like the sides about like the nature of the interview happening in general. They're just like Keiichi would have been in would have been institutionalized this time, and they wouldn't allow an interview to happen. The tape, we don't even know if the voices on the tape matches his voice. We don't really know. Also, he put a hat over the tape, or we put something over the tape recorder, so we don't even know. Like, it sounds a little muffled. It's hard to judge. There's like a lot of doubt put into this tape. Where, yeah, it's just a lot of that. But it's supposedly trying to tell us that Keiichi lived at least until that point. Is the big implication of the tape is that he lived to that point. He told us that he believed he killed everyone there. And I mean, much like Umineko, I'm looking at those scenes and I'm just assuming most of the stuff that we actually saw is just a recreation of the events based on assumptions, based on little clues like this that are left behind. But if details involving these little clues are not necessarily trustworthy, that would be why some events appear like they happened a certain way but are different in a different timeline in some way. Like, different kind of stories being built about what probably happened based on different pieces of evidence being introduced. Like, before it had the detail of, like, there was a syringe, or it looks like there was a syringe that was found at some point, or like it looked like a syringe would have been taped there, but it was gone or something. Like, there was pages that were missing from a thing that were left behind, so we're only meant to assume this much about the story because the note only had these pages there with it. The second one had the details of the nature of, we believed this person died before these people in the well, and there was like a broken syringe in Rika's pocket and stuff like that. Like little details like that, which like we didn't know about beforehand. But as you learn these other details, they kind of paint a picture of the events in that story's kind of frame. And we're meant to try to, as we pick up more of these little details, trying to figure out which parts of these details are real and solidify why we believe this story to be crafted in this way, and how much of it actually explains the events that actually happened throughout all of this. Viewpoints like that are what I'm thinking, and it causes me to many times be like, am I just thinking too much about it because I read Umineko first, or is this actually how it's meant to be experienced and things like that? So I'm trying not to worry too much about that, and I'm just like experiencing it as I experience it and just keeping that in the back of my head. But yeah, I mean, when they cry, it be like that. It just be a really, really cool experience with adding on to the mystery in these ways, and I like it. I liked this arc a lot. Once we actually got into the plot of things, it was very, very strong for me. So I really liked it. I think it's my favorite of the three we've experienced so far. Of course, we've only experienced 3, so it's not really saying too much, but I think that it's really, really good. I think it's really, really good. Yeah. Any other thoughts that people had and or wanted to bring up? I'm going to read the afterwards that we got here. Hearing nothing. We got... For the first volume, Ryukashi says, "Hello, I'm Ryukashi07. I wrote the original story. I truly thank you for picking up Higurashi When They Cry Curse-Killing Arc, Volume 1. The curse-killing arc focuses mainly on Satoko, the junior classman who's like an upstart little sister. It really is heartwarming to see Satoko drawn so cheerfully and charmingly by Suzuki-sensei. But it's Higurashi. It won't end with just the heartwarmingness. The curse-killing arc is the 3rd arc of the 8 original arcs and has been called the most pitiable and vivid of the scenarios. That might be because the theme it deals with is a problem that is close to all of us. I would love it if you would read the comic through the eyes of the main character, Keiichi Maibara, thinking about what you would do if you were Keiichi. Now, speaking of Suzuki-sensei, she's a shark. The rough drafts by this sensei, who has a perfect love for hammerhead sharks, always have a shark in the corner, no matter how vivid and shocking the scene may be. It's soothing. Laughs. I didn't know. I read that at first, and I was like, was there a shark hidden in some of these pages that I didn't notice? I didn't know what we were trying to say there, other than that they were very good at their work and liked sharks, I guess. I was like, okay, cool. And then we did actually have an author's note from the artist, Jiro Suzuki, and it says, "To those who are meeting me for the first time and those who aren't, hello, I'm Jiro Suzuki. I sincerely thank you for taking this occasion to buy Higurashi When They Cry, Curse-Killing Arc. Man, I really am glad that it came out safely. It's already been almost a year since I was given the Higurashi manga project. Time flies regardless of having easily imagined what kind of hellish angry waves of schedule, which I had never experienced, would await me if I accepted, since I had an original series I was working on. I agreed right away with such force that I might as well have said, I won't let any other artist take it from me. I still remember that day clearly. I mean, I could never forget it, and at the same time, I don't regret it. I mean, hey, it's the curse-killing arc. It's Satoko. It's Nini. Oh yeah, I don't remember if we mentioned this here. Nini being the nickname that Satoko had for Satoshi, and it's a, you know, we call Keiichi that sometimes, or we're questioning whether or not like he can take the place of Nini, meaning older brother, like a cutesy nickname for older brother. So Nini, it's Nini. It's that scene and that scene. Is it really okay for me to draw it? It is, right? Is it okay for me to be Nini? It is, right? I will draw it. I will draw it with a goofy grin. While mixing with such subtle misunderstandings, I am writing today with my unusual, or not unusual, I'm writing today with my usual energy. And as I work on the second half, Volume 2 of the 3rd and longest arc of the original story, to be honest, every day I'm holding my head in my hands, thinking there aren't enough pages, but I intend to go on drawing with maximum effort and Nini power. so that the rough drafts constantly dance on my tongue without leaving out any of the many delicious scenes that remain. I hope you will support me, and if possible, please also look at my original series, Record of Sotakun's Akihabara Struggle, also on sale from G Fantasy Comics. I mean, please buy it. Please, seriously, serious eyes is what they wrote in parentheses. They're looking at you seriously. It's also just to let you guys know, this note from them says it's like dated a certain day, November 2005. I don't why did we, is this significant to something? It just says a certain day, November 2005. Why are we being vague about that? I was all right, whatever. I won't think about that. I won't worry about that. They didn't have an afterword in the second one, but Ryukushi did. And the Ryukushi one is, the Curse Killing Arc is the third scenario in Higurashi When They Cry, and is an important story that finishes off the 3 Higurashi question arcs. Also in the sense of seeking what's necessary to break through the tragedies of this world. It is the most important scenario. Satoko's suffering is depicted extremely heartbreakingly in this scenario, and more frighteningly than anything, I think it brings with it the raw sense of reality that something similar could suddenly happen close to anyone at any time. In a way, the Curse Killing arc is the most lighthearted of the Higurashi arcs, which I stopped when I read that, and I think Aztec did too, and I'm just like, are you sure? Are you fucking sure? Okay. And in a way, perhaps it could be said that it is the most different from the main world of Higurashi. But the key hidden in this scenario is another very important one. It's so important that it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that it's far more important than the keys of all the 3 question arcs, and it's the master key of the Higurashi world. Unfortunately, Keiichi wasn't able to obtain that key in this instance. He'll finally gain this key in a later scenario. I wonder if all you were able to find it. ... And that's how that ends. Did you guys get the key? Have you guys figured out what the keys are yet?
There weren't any keys in this.
Yeah, was it not
silly.
obvious?
I mean, of course, I know what the key is, obviously. I know what all the keys are. I got the master key. Okay?
Well, you see, in Zelda, the keys are bats, and Keiji had a bat, so...
Oh, I see.
No. No, those are keys. You're thinking of keys?
Interesting. I will say, we thought the key last week was gas leaks, and a gas leak happened.
And it was. We're prophets.
Listen, I don't know. Did the gas leak happen? Did it really? I doubt it. But I guess we'll find out what happened as we continue our journey through the arcs. By the way, I don't know if I misunderstood this. It sounded like the author was saying this is the last of the questions arcs. But my understanding is we have another, and then a manga original one.
I can actually explain this,
Okay.
which is that the first 3 arcs were the original plan for the question arcs, and then Ryukishi saw that people were having quite a bit of trouble solving literally any of the mystery.
Oh, I see.
So he added in, I think it's Himatsubushi as the next arc, if I'm remembering the titles correctly.
Let me check. Yes, Himatsubushi Hen.
Yeah. To give people a little bit more of a leg up on what exactly the fuck is going on.
Okay. And then we, as the manga readers, get a bonus arc after that even, which...
Yes, Yorigoshi Hen, which I'm very interested to see, because there's a visual novel version of that arc as well, available through the 7th mod. And I don't know what's gonna happen there, because it's not it's certainly not necessary to solve things in the visual novels. I don't know if there's like a reason this was made for the manga in the same way, or if it's just, Ryukishi made a side story and had someone draw it out.
Okay. So we got this all solved, right? We got this all solved just from the original arcs? Got it all figured out?
I'm not gonna lie. Not only do I not know the answer, I don't think I know what the question is.
I listen.
It really does feel that way.
Umineko, at least, the question was, okay, who committed all of the murders? And then it's a question of, okay, what for each of the Umineko episodes, who was the culprit in each episode versus what was the overall branching either culprit and or events that happened in the story overall for the reality of things. Whereas this one is
I think a lot of making that framing explicit in Umineko was from just that exact feeling. A lot of people having that exact feeling in Higurashi.
Yeah, because this,
at least I am one of many dumbasses.
Because here I'm just like, I'm seeing a gas leak, and I'm just like, did the gas leak happen, or is it a question of what happened to cause the gas leak? Because if a gas leak did happen, then like Aztec said, I think towards the beginning and or in the pre-show, he's like, what do you mean? There's no question. A gas leak happened and killed everybody. That's who killed everybody. What do you mean? It was just a natural fucking thing. But then my question is like, did the gas leak happen, and or was it a natural gas leak if it did happen, or did we find some way to actually cause it, and or is it more of a question of who was murdered when before the gas leak happened and confused everything, or a lot of questions like that, which I wasn't even considering the whole gas leak murdering everybody in town factor until now. In the equation of who murdered who. Before this, I was just thinking like, okay, several people have died in the story, and that's a question of who actually died when consistently in these stories, and then who would be the murderer behind these things if we do not believe it to actually be the cause of a curse. Or maybe it is a cause of a curse, and maybe demons are fucking real, and we're supposed to believe that too. Because this isn't trying to argue whether or not demons are real like Umineko does. I think it's just trying to assume that you would assume that they are not real, and so you would try to wonder what is actually happening and what's causing them to be paranoid about this shit, if there is like an outside force causing them to be paranoid about this stuff. Whereas Umineko explicitly is trying to argue whether or not witches are real. So it's very different in that sense too. I know it's going to be a lot of comparisons with this and Umineko, and it's probably going to be a little more complicated.
They both feed into each other so much.
Yeah. And it is kind of weird that we're doing it backwards in that sense, because, we're reading and discussing Higurashi, having after read through Umineko when this came out before that. But, what are you going to do about that other than draw the parallels that you
honestly,
notice
it
happen?
Does give you a significant head start on solving Higurashi. Just because I read Higurashi first, and man, I had no fucking clue what was going on at any goddamn point.
You're just like,
I figured
I'm here
out
for the vibes.
one thing super early on, and then so much of the mystery was about completely avoiding all of that.
All right.
Yeah, so reading Umineko first really gives you also a leg up on just how to view Ryukishi's writing. Because right from the get-go, obviously this is psychological horror, but right from the get-go, you're immediately like, okay, what is real? Which exact scenes are actually happening? What is in his mind? What is what are we being misled about? Because you're immediately just skeptical, like, oh, Ryukishi gave me this story. I wonder how much of it is him lying to me.
Yeah. Yeah. He does that often. I mean, it was especially like a whole thing where they're like, this is the red truth. If you hear this, that means it's definitely the truth. Even that's used to fuck with you many times. You know, Umineko truly was a whole training arc for mystery stories, and now reading this is a whole, okay, this is the shit that he knows that he could try to do. So has he tried to do that here? Or, like, I think for several arcs, and I think I might have brought this up in past weeks, I'm just like, okay, Cage is being told by the detective that these people were found in these cases, or like they were found dead in these places in these time frames. Is that actually what happened, or is the detective just fucking lying to him and or setting up the scenes and lying to him, or lying to everybody? What's happening here? You know, who's potentially lying and fucking with the evidence of what's happening here to make the mystery more complicated, like Ryukashi likes to do sometimes, from what I've seen. What's happening here? And that's where we get into the whole, like, when the twins were introduced, Shion and Mion, when we have a twin, I'm just like, okay, how is Ryukashi gonna fuck around with us with this in later arcs, more specifically, when we're not remembering at times that there's a twin that could be swapping places with Mion or something. You know, one thing I will say, for a moment, when they were just like, oh yeah, we all had a good time at the festival together, especially you, Keiichi. Keiichi, you got really drunk, by the way. They really hammered home how he got really drunk, so you're definitely not gonna remember what happened, buddy. yeah, everybody had a great time with you.
Even Dr. EDA is like, oh man, you had a lot to drink, huh? You shouldn't be doing that as a minor.
You must have drank a lot there, Keiichi. Please pick up our alibi. Understand that that's what we're doing. But like, for a moment when I was hearing like, oh no, Keiichi doesn't know if he was actually there at the festival or not, I'm like, what if they're not covering for him and somebody actually did go there and they did look like him and it was just another twin like we thought about and joked about last week? What if everybody has a twin and nobody actually died in none of the main villagers died in Hinamizawa. Their twins just replaced them.
Satoshi like just came back to vibe.
Yeah.
They didn't notice. They were drunk.
Yeah. Well, I think that pretty much covers most of the things that happened here with this arc. At this point with this arc, how are we feeling about the arcs in general? How do we rank them, I guess? We only have 3 so far, so there's not a lot of ranking going on here. Personally, I think I liked this the most, and maybe the first one would be my second place, and the twins one would be maybe my third. Not because I didn't like the twins or anything. I think I liked that element of it, but I think it was easier for me to get locked in on the mystery of things and more interesting for me to be locked in on the mystery of things for the first one with Reina's stuff, maybe. And the twins one just kept making me think, this is Yakuza bullshit's going on. That's just, I'm just thinking Yakuza bullshit's going on in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I like this one the most, I think, so far. But there's only like 3 arcs though. This is not saying a lot. I don't know. Does anybody have any particular feelings towards this arc compared to the other arcs that they want to express? Like, did they like this a little more for whatever reason? Were they kind of bored by it for certain reasons? How do we feel about the artist? If we had any feelings about the artist, what do we think?
I liked the story for this one the most so far because it felt more grounded than the others.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Least favorite art though, by far.
Yeah, and I can understand it. I think I liked this artist when they did Umineko. I think I liked them when they did Umineko. And I think I only really like them here in Higurashi a lot more so when they were doing the horror breakdown moments, like that you know, all the like Takano scenes as well too. This artist really loved Takano. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is like some of the best art I'm seeing here for this. And they really fucking hated Oishi. Yeah.
And as he deserves.
Anybody else have thoughts? All right. Well, I think that's pretty much all we have then for Tatari Goroshi Hen, aka the Curse Killing Arc. So, that means next up we will be doing and discussing, we'll be reading through and discussing the next arc, which is the Time Killing Arc, Himatsubushi Hen, aka Time Killing. I think I already said Time Killing. But go read that. It's going to be featuring Rika's story, so you get some Rika time, Nippon, and all that. Yeah, all that.
Nippon.
So
Wait, if this is an additional arc, does that mean Rika never actually had one in the original?
in the original
worry
planning
about
for it is what I assume, but I don't know for sure. I guess we'll find out when we read it. But the way that Anne described it earlier just makes me think like, Rikushi wanted it to just be these three for the questions, and then he realized he made the question too fucking hard. So we'll add in another one.
What I guess I can say is that this is a very different kind of vibe to the first three arcs. It is very much like it is a question arc, but it is its own separate kind of thing.
It's a syllabus arc.
We're going to get an entire slice of life arc. I'm excited for it. Nothing bad's going to happen. Everyone's going to survive. There will be no gas leak, and Rika will not be eaten by crows at the end.
And everyone's going to have a great time at the festival together.
Yeah. Yep. And Satoko's uncle will not be abusive in this timeline. Satoko's uncle will actually be a very loving and caring father figure of sorts. Satoshi will never have transferred schools. And let's see.
Yeah, he was always there.
Yeah, he was just always there the whole time, living within Keiichi apparently. And I don't know if that was supposed to be.
He's actually constantly been there, just off screen.
Oh, you know what? I believe it. Listen, is he the one who killed Tomitake off screen? Probably, maybe. It's fine. Tomitake's fine. He'll also survive the murders, because why not? Everybody will be fine. Everybody will be fine. Everybody will be happy, and then they'll all go to Angel Mort and have some cake and have a good time with Shion there too, who will also have a fun time. Anyways, that's all we got for this week, I assume. That's yeah. So thank you so much, everybody, once again for coming to the book club. Remember, we stream every Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern Time here on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick at the same time, and then these are also uploaded onto Spotify. I have keep forgetting to upload these episodes for Higurashi up there, but I'll just probably do all the three that we currently did this weekend, and those will be up there. And then you can listen to those there if you want to. Yeah, and if you want to be a part of the book club, either joining the discussions live and or just, yapping with us in the Discord chat or whatever, you could join the Discord channel at discord.wolfborg.com, and you can come hang out with us there. Otherwise, you can just check us on the social medias for youtube.wolfborg.com, twitch.wolfborg.com, kick.wolfborg.com, all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much, everybody, once again, for coming to hang out. Next week, it is Time Killing Arc, which I think is actually... I actually own the first volume of this physically because I accidentally bought it thinking that it was actually where you start. And then I realized, oh no, this is not where you start. Oh shit. So I do have the first volume of this physically. I don't know where it is though, but I have it somewhere. So, Time Killing Arc, aka Himatsubushi Hen, next week. Stay safe, gamers. Watch out for gas leaks. Don't trust the free gas. We're gonna see who we can raid tonight. Who is around? What do we got here? Should we see if there's somebody new? Or actually no, Oboro's streaming. Let's go say hi to Opopo. Opopo is playing Arknight's Endfield. Let's go say hi to Opopo. Stay safe, gamers. Nippa, nippa, nippa.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, stream. Bye. The raid button won't happen. Okay, there it goes. Bye.